Hi, my name is Tyler with Electric Personal Training, and today we are going to be covering both the split workshop here as well as the advanced builder. They're kind of hand in hand, and so I'm going to start with the split workshop. If you already understand that, go ahead and skip to later in the video when I talk about the advanced builder. So the first thing we want to do when we want to use the advanced builder, which is our third option here on select workout type, we are going to go ahead and head to the split workshop. Now, the split workshop, we're going to be able to design a split. Let's call this our split. Now, every split has a few days, so let's call this day one. Now, what do we want to do here? Let's say we want to do a leg day. So we're gonna hit some adductors for sure. We're gonna hit some calves. We're gonna hit some glutes, hamstrings, and some quads. Now, if you're doing a leg day, it is already built into the regular builder, so you don't really need to do this, but it'll go ahead and highlight everything, show it how many exercises it's going to give us. Now, if I unselect all of these guys, why don't I go with a more wacky split, a split that I'm actually doing right now. We'll go with quads, we'll go with chest, we'll go with front delts, side delts, and adductors. This is one of my current days. So we've got 7 exercises, and usually you want somewhere between 6 and 9 exercises. Anything over 9 in your nervous system is going to be fatigued to the point where your last exercises barely do anything. Anything less, and you might be missing out on what you could do in a single day. It's really not a big deal to do less. If you want to do a few exercises and go home, that's fine. I just like to maximize the amount of progress I get in a single session so that I don't have to go to the gym every single day. You can take those rest days. But if you have a longer split, typically we go with a 3-day one-off split. So you work out 3 days, take 1 day off. If you're doing like a 4-on one-off or even just a 5-day split, you can do a few less, but you typically don't want to go over 9. So this is going to show us we'll get 7 exercises. We'll go ahead and hit save focus. So maybe for day 2, we want to hit, let's see, what's my other one? We're going to go ahead and hit the hamstrings, the lats, and the teres major. We are going to hit the traps, and we're going to hit the rear delts. And that is going to give us 6 exercises, and that is about it for this one. So on this day, we're going to get 6 exercises. This is day 2. But if I want to see what I have already covered, I can see my previous days. So we'll go ahead and save focus. And if we want to do a third one, we'll just call this day 3. And we can see the total combination of everything that we've hit so far. Go ahead and delete this day just because we don't need it. And now we're going to save our split. Now, if we ever want to edit our split, we can come back to the screen and we can edit everything. But we are going to go ahead and go back to our menu, back to home, and then we will go ahead and use the advanced builder. The advanced builder requires a split to be built. If you don't have a split, it's just going to tell you to go back and go mess with the workout split builder. So now we can go ahead and choose our split. Let's say we're doing day 2. Next, what's most important? Let's say I want hamstrings to be the most important. Hamstrings are just what I care about most, and so I'm going to do those. And we're going to choose exercises. Now, the thing that makes this different from the regular builder, firstly, we can make our own splits. That's already a step up from the regular builder. Additionally, this is going to help us prioritize the muscles that we care about most. This is for people who are training very intensely. And so we see a drop off in the productivity of the workouts that are done later in the session. If you're doing something last, your nervous system is fatigued, you're peripherally fatigued, you're going to be getting less out of that last exercise than your first. So since I said hamstrings are first, I'm going to end up doing a stiff leg hinge pattern first. The other thing that makes this different and better than the builder and better for high intensity athletes is that this is going to give you exercises based on the pattern. It's not based on just exercise count. For example, performing both a seated and kneeling hamstring curl would be a little bit excessive. You could make the argument that they're not completely redundant, but they still are really unnecessary if you're really working at high intensity. On the other side, doing a stiff hinge along with a leg curl works both functions of the hamstrings. The hamstrings perform hip extension when the knee is in a static, almost straight position. You don't want to lock your knees. Don't do that. And they perform knee flexion. And usually, if you're trying to build your hamstrings, you want to do a little bit of both. And you're going to see that with a lot of things. For example, the quads, it's going to give you a leg extension and some kind of squat. For the chest, it's going to give you a horizontal and an incline press. For those muscles that we're going to need multiple exercises to fully work everything. We can also see that with the lats. So we're getting a vertical pull and we're getting a horizontal pull. So a straight arm pullover, a low to high row, a underhand barbell bent over row where we're rowing with the elbows tucked and towards us, shoulder extension function of the lats, but we also have the shoulder adduction function of the lats that we're going to see in these overhead pull downs, which of course also brings in the teres. And just like our other workout builder, we can go ahead and confirm these, start workout, and it just pulls everything in for us, which is wonderful.